Could you run down each unit and tell you where you want to improve, like defensive front, linebackers, defensive backs, run down each of those three?
Yes. The defensive line, we're really talking about the points of emphasis that Coach Browning has is resetting the line of scrimmage, winning the one-on-ones in the run game, and be able to do a better job of transitioning from run to rushing the quarterback. Those are really the three areas that Coach Browning's talking about. Coach Vic is all about violence and playing the game faster, setting edge, doing a great job as a 6 or a 9 technique. Again, and a lot of that mindset is we have to continue to play the run better, and then as we transition from the RPOs and some of those runs to play action of how we transition, get on edges, and be able to rush the quarterback. At inside linebacker, we have to play faster, we have to make an impact, and we have to be more aggressive. Those are the three things that we've really talked about. And on the defensive backfield is we have to finish plays better, and we have to communicate. And finishing plays for those guys are, when the ball's in the air, the moment of truth, finishing a tackle on the sidelines, all those different things. So those are the four things, or the four units that we've talked about, and what we're really honing in every day, because you can't focus on everything every day, but those are the points of emphasis that we talk about as a defense.
So what constitutes a good practice for you during the spring?
I think it constitutes good practice is, first of all, they come out with great effort, or you come out of it with great effort, and they walk on the field with good communication, and guys that they have the energy, because in spring sometimes you lose a day if you don't come out with the appropriate concentration and effort. So I think anytime that we leave the practice field and I felt we played with great effort and I felt that we concentrated well, I think that's a good day.
So how did they stack up the last couple of days coming back from that break?
I think they've been really no different. We kind of brought them in slowly on Monday, Tuesday. Did some stuff on the field for conditioning, and then Wednesday. So we got their legs back a little bit before we had that first practice. So it wasn't like they came back on Monday and started.
Anybody on defense really catch your eye?
Until I watch the film, sometimes it's a little bit hard. In these settings, as you guys have probably noticed, the style of practice is significantly different. We have a lot more up on the reader board says PTG is play the game. So there's a lot more situational things. The sticks are out there, first, second, third, fourth down. So there's a lot more going on. So right now I'm not scripting anything. So both Spav and I are calling it as if it's a game.
Why the change?
I think there's a couple reasons. I think the flow of the game, I think giving the kids the opportunity to play more football, and that probably sounds silly, of course they're playing football, but in scripted environments, first down, second down, third down, when there's no consequence, good or bad, on the result of a play, you become numb to the result of the play, and you just go, well, it doesn't matter what happened. Well, an explosive run on first down and we move the ball 47 yards and we have to get lined up again and tempo happens, and now we went from the middle of the field to the high red. That's, in our opinion, that's kind of giving the kids an opportunity to play the game more. You get into the rhythm, you get into the substitutions with the iron cross, the communication. So I think that's primarily the reason why.
Because there's so much tempo these days, is that a lot?
Well, there's so much tempo. I think there's a lot of things. There's so much tempo. The game is so much different than a scripted practice. So let's try to get into those game-like situations and do that more frequently. So that's how we play football instead of in a more, because a controlled setting is not realistic anymore.
DB Miles Williams, we were talking to him the other day, and he was excited about his finish and how he closed the season. What do you see from him this spring?
We were really pleased with how Miles finished as well. He had the opportunity to come in and play some nickel, and he came in and did a very, very good job and kind of out of his natural position. And he's continued to make steps. He plays with really good effort. He's a high energy guy, and I really feel comfortable. He knows exactly what he's doing out there, and we just got to keep giving him more reps, and he needs to keep making plays.
I asked Coach Wilcox about Little John. He seems to be continuing to get better. How much has he lined up with what you guys evaluated and saw in film from him?
He's played well, in terms of what we're asking him to do. He's still extremely early in his development, but if he keeps the mentality that he has and the effort in which he's playing, we're excited where he's trending.
What are the things that he's shown you so far that you say we can build on that?
He can stay close to people in coverage. I think that's the number one thing.